If you've been wondering what it takes to get glam as a wedding guest, then you've come to the right channel. We start off with moisturizer, and this Nivea moisturizer is good for face and body. It also has SPF 15 and it is lightweight, so it wouldn't clog your pores, and it is the perfect moisturizer under makeup. I also like to go in with a glue stick to stick down my eyebrows, but this step is totally optional. You can skip it and just move on to your face. Using a face primer that works perfectly for oily, combination or dry skin, I'll be using the face primer from Missmetics, and this is the Aqua Grip Primer. I apply it generously all over my face except under my eyes. Now I'll be using the Ezekiel Even True Foundation in shade 25, and I always use just 2 pumps. I spread that on my face, use a damp beauty sponge, and then I spray my face. This step is totally optional. You can just go in with your damp beauty sponge, not wet, damp. Make sure you squeeze out all the water, and then it will swell up and it will be soft enough to blend out your foundation perfectly. As you can see, I only tap, I do not drag it. Tapping helps give you full coverage, and if you use the perfect shade, you'd see how perfectly it blends close to your hairline, close to your ears, and that's a beautiful blend. To highlight my face, I like to use the Ezekiel Skin Fit Concealer in the shade Istanbul or New York, and I use it to apply under my eyes, my forehead, nose bridge, chin and cupid's bow area. And then I also go in to apply my liquid blush. While I am blending that liquid blush, it allows the concealer to sit and give me fuller coverage when I come to blend it. Now, what I love about this wedge sponge is the fact that it has multiple sides to it, and it is perfect for blending foundation, blush and concealer. Just look how I turned another side and went in to blend my concealer. I started off by blending the mustache area. I'm also going to go in and blend other areas before I go to the under eyes, because that's the last part I like to blend. I like to give that concealer some time to sit, which is why I like using concealers that do not dry out quickly, like Beauty by AD, LA Girl, or Ezekiel Skin Fit concealers. They have second skin concealer, but this is the one that is most forgiving. Now I'll be using my favorite setting powder from Flawless Ivy Cosmetics, and as per my previous video, I know you guys probably missed it, but I explained that this new step of blending and setting your under eye would save your makeup. I mean, there will be no crease line in sight for hours. After you've let your concealer sit, you blend that one eye alone. Make sure that there is absolutely no crease line, and then you go in with setting powder and set that eye. Make sure you do all this while looking up, and you will see such a difference. If you go and blend the other eye before you come back to set, you might notice that there will be crease lines, but when you do one eye after the other, you blend and set and watch the magic that happens. Look how beautifully that came out. I'm going to repeat on this other side. You blend and then you set, and then you make sure that you are tapping in the setting powder in little bits. Do not go and bake from the beginning. No, don't pack plenty powder, just go with little bits and make sure you press it in until it disappears. You can always come back and bake later. Set the rest of your face, and do not forget your eyebrows, and then your nose bridge, your mustache area, your smile lines. Most importantly, on that day you're going to smile a lot, laugh a lot, greet a lot, so you don't want any crease lines anywhere. Now I'm going in with my face powder from Ezekiel Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Cafe. Look how flawlessly that blended into my skin. If it doesn't disappear into your skin, it is not your shade. It's not your shade. So make sure you use something that disappears into your skin for a more flawless look. I'm just going in to set places that I did not set with setting powder, which is the sides of my nose, my forehead, my jawline, and the rest of my face. Now I'm going in with this contour kit from Classic, and this is typically where I would contour, right underneath the blush. And I'm going to be using this Ezekiel eyeshadow palette in collaboration with Makeup by Favor. I like to use this shade as my blush, and you can go ahead and use a blush actually, but I just like this one because it is very convenient. And now we're moving on to the brows. This is going to my spoolie, and this will be my brow pencil. Just make sure that it is sharp and you're good to go. Now I'm just going to trace out and outline the shape that I want. I'll do that on the bottom, and I'll trace the same shape at the top. Now I'm just going to go in and fill in my eyebrow. I like to go on a bit heavy-handed at the outer eye corner, and then I feather the front. Next step is to use a spoolie brush to blend out the front of the eyebrow. and then I go in with brown eyeshadow from Beauty by AD, because this is a true brown. It is not dark, it is not light. And I set my eyebrow before I apply eyebrow gel, because I just want it to stay in place and not move throughout the day. Using this concealer from House of Tara and a flat brush. Today is not flat round though, it is a flat razor cut brush. I made sure that it is flat enough and I coated both sides, and I just went softly to follow the line I had already drawn to bring it and highlight it a little bit more. And as soon as I get to the arc area, I'm just going to turn the brush so that it fits and then it carves the eyebrow perfectly. I think that you can use basically any brush to carve out your eyebrow, so long as it is sharp and it is razor flat. I think it can do the job. You just have to practice and you'll be good at anything with any tool at all. The trick with eyebrows is not forcing anything. Do not overpress your brush, do not overpress your pencil, do not overpress anything. Just light strokes, soft strokes here and there. I'm using the same concealer as my eyeshadow base, and I'm blending it out using this fluffy dense brush, just to make sure that there are no crease lines and it will be perfectly ready for eyeshadow application. After placing setting powder under my eyes, I'm going to use that baby pink shade and the black shade from this eyeshadow palette, Beauty by AD, and I'm going to go in with the baby pink shade as my transition shade. Notice how I kept alternating brushes, but I just really needed one nice tapered blending brush just to make sure that I bring depth to my eyes. And I keep going back with that brush I blended concealer with to make sure that there are no crease lines before I apply eyeshadow. Next, I'm going in with black, and the black is just at the outer eye corner. That's where I'm focusing the pigment anyway, and I keep opening my eyes to make sure that I am not far above my crease. I don't want to carry it to my brow bone. I want it to look daytime appropriate. So I'm making sure to now drag the remaining of that black shadow inward, and then using a fluffy blending brush, I'm just going to use the light pink shade to give it a nice final blend before I go in with the pigments for the eyelid. I mixed the shades Pelumi and Irene to get the champagne gold shade I wanted. You can always use the champagne gold if you have just the shade. As I approach the top of my eyelid, I just make sure not to supersede where I apply the transition shade, because hooded eyes can get crazy if you apply too much shimmery pigment. And I just always make sure to go in and check and make sure that I have not passed any of my boundaries. I wanted a pinkier effect, so I went in with this loose pigment from EA Beauty, and this brand has closed down anyway. They sold everything to Beauty Line by Didi, so I think you can get from there. For me, fingers apply pigment better. Now I am using a precise brush and I'm applying black to my lower lash line, and I used pink to blend it out. And I'm not a fan of eyeliner, but I just like to apply a thin layer of the eyeliner on my top lash line just to help my lashes have something to sit on. And here come the luxurious eyelashes from Mismetics, and I'm using my favorite eyelash glue from Classic to coat the lash band. While that dries down, I'm going to use NYX jumbo pencil on my waterline, apply mascara to my top lashes, and once this mascara dries down, you can go in and pull them straight. I like to do this because I have curly lashes, and doing this helps your false lashes stay close to your lash line as possible. Now, because we applied some setting powder to catch fallout, we are sweeping it off flawlessly and then going in with some setting spray before highlighter. Now, this is a liquid highlighter from Ezekiel Cosmetics in their collaboration with Ginica, and I like to apply it with a sponge or a brush on my cheeks. And afterward, I'm going to set with a powder highlighter from Doll Beauty, and it is called the Doll Light Duo. I'll be using the golden one, and I'm just going to apply a little amount because a little goes a long way. And afterward, I'm just going to apply it on my forehead, my chin, my cupid's bow, and my nose bridge. Not really the nose bridge, just the tip of the nose and then the bridge between the eyes, because you know we don't do that total nose bridge highlighting anymore. Now, no matter how little you think your lashes are, mascara will make a whole world of difference. Just go in there and you will see what the difference will look like. Now I'm using this lipstick from Classic. It is called Outer Space and it is a nice ashy brown. And after I use it to outline the top of my lips, I'll do the same thing to the bottom, and then I use a lip brush to blend the harsh lines before I go in with the other colors. Matte lipsticks can be tricky. If you don't blend them at the get-go, you will suffer. The results will be ugly. Now I'm going to go in with this lipstick palette, and I'll go in with the brown, the nude, and the pink in the center. Now I'm going in with the brown first. After applying it just close to the dark brown, I'll smack my lips, and then I go in with the nude. And while you're doing this, make sure that your lips are not too moisturized with lip balm or anything. Just make sure that they are just right. Then I'm going to go in with the pink in the center. I said that because this lipstick is not completely matte, so you want to make sure that there's nothing oily that will break it down from under. If it is too oily, use tissue to reduce the excess oil and your lipstick will come out perfectly. And do not get tired of smacking your lips until you have the most perfect results. I believe we are down to the end of this video, and this is the final look. I went on to wear a wig because I didn't film this on the day I attended the wedding, but this is exactly how I'm going to look, but the difference is with Gele and Ashrebi. Let me know if you'll be trying out this look, and let me know if you learned anything new. Make sure to check out any of my previous videos, and also ensure to subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for stopping by again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.